I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Samantha, once again, we're about to another review. This is another paid request, this time from Paul Wilson, as for a film called The Love Witch from 2016. And pretty much this is a film that a lady wrote, directed, she did the costume, she did pretty much everything. The look of the film, the editing of the film, a one-woman operation. And it was a movie that very much looks like a film that would come from the 1960s, 1970s era. And I would say this, on an aesthetic note, she did a top-notch job. It really does seem like you plucked a film from 1968 or 1972, 1973, the era of Hammer horror films, or that era of stuff, with the way the colors, the way the picture quality looks, where it doesn't, I mean, again, if you took one of those films from the 60s, you put it in HD, like you cleaned it up, it looks like it. The way it's shot, certain zooms in the camera and close-ups, again, the bright red color schemes at times, the cinematography, I mean, it's even certain driving shots, you see like rear projection type of shots like you would see back in the day. She did a really nice job capturing that. I can't complain about that at all. I just wish someone took that for a more interesting story. That was better paced. And it has weak acting, but people are like, well, the weak acting is supposed to be acting like back in the day. Why go for that route? If you don't make it look like a 60s, 70s film, have it look like that and then have really spot-on acting. Unless you're doing a spoof on it, unless you're doing a parody on it, but all I see is weak acting, and people go, well, yeah, that's like what. Even back then, there's been good Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee. I wouldn't call their acting performances bad when they were doing movies in this era. Vincent Price. So people say, well, bad acting is for the norm. I don't agree with that. And I didn't care for Samantha Robinson as Elaine, this witch who's single, as she's always trying to find a man because she wants the perfect man who will love her. And using her witchery and love potions to do it, and that men will drink it, and they'll feel love so much that most people, they'll die from it. Because it's a feminist movie. It's trying to go with social norms and gender norms and how other ladies are talking to her about patriarchy and about, hey, women should be equal. And our lead, the witch, is going, well, a guy just wants a pretty lady who will take care of them and giving men sex is a way of unlocking the love potential, and she's going to use her will to get what she wants, and you know what, that's all fine and dandy, but the idea to me, I don't think is executed that well. I think the pacing is slow because it's almost 2 hours long, and I think this is an idea that could easily be 80 minutes long at most. Or maybe even a short film, like a 20, 30-minute short film. And the aesthetics, the way it looks, which is top notch on looking like an old movie, that only goes so far. Because to me, for me, I'm not interested in the story. I'm not interested in what the story's trying to say. And I see a girl who just, this pattern she keeps repeating because it keeps not working. It keeps not working again and again. She has a guy wanting him to fall in love with her, makes him drink. Again, it's so much love, he can't handle it. And it's this whole thing about guys. What was the line of dialogue? Oh, guys can't handle their emotions well. It's just too much for them. So guys will drink in, they'll cry. You love me, don't you? You love me, don't you? Please don't leave me. And when the girl walks away, she's like, what a pussy. I thought I found a real man, but he's a girl. And the guys, I'm not scared. I'm just not used to feeling things so strongly. I can't take it. I'm sick. I'm sick. And it's supposed to be this big fucking diatribe about men and women. It's like, I don't give a fuck. I've no fucks have been given in this dojo. No fucks have been given throughout this movie. It's labeled as a comedy, but I didn't find anything funny about it. It's labeled as a horror film. I don't know where the hell the horror is supposed to be. I mean, yeah, the witch is with a cult and you see naked people. I guess that's a little bit of supernatural, so I don't know if that translates as horror. There's not really anything horrific about it. The lead, a lot of people liked her performance. I felt at times she looked sedated or acted sedated. Other times it was just lost her own world, which is part of the character, but at the same time, I just don't find her interesting to watch. I did. She's trying to find love. It's 2 hours too long for me. I did. You're addicted to love. I'd rather go watch the song, the music video for the song Addicted to Love over and over again for 2 hours than watch a movie. I just wish there's a more interesting, wittier, clever, funnier, or scarier script and story mixed in with your solid aesthetic of costumes, and it's retro, but then there's modern cars or phones used. So this is in this weird space of, is it the 70s, but it's modern stuff as well, but it looks like a film from 1968 or 1972, like I mentioned. I mean, when you have a movie that says lines like, tampons are not gross, women bleed, and that's a beautiful thing. Do you know most guys have never seen a used tampon? This is her narration. This is her pontificating. This is supposed to be an ode to how men and women deal with each other and blah, 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 blah. Obviously, as you can tell, I gave little of shits of what they was trying to say. Maybe in this day and age, I'm so fucking tired of feminism of any level that it tunes me out like white noise. And I don't know whether you needed, again, this whole excuse of, well, the acting's not good, but that's supposed to be an ode to how acting was back in the day. I'm like, did you ever see Peter Cushing or Christopher Lee or some of these other people act? They acted well. Go watch Horror Express. Horror Express is a pretty damn good movie. Horror of Dracula. Good movie. I'm not even a big Hammer film. Maybe that's another thing. This era of films is not my favorite era of filmmaking. If you're talking about 1970s, I'm going more towards Alien, Dawn of the Dead, Assault on Precinct 13, Dirty Harry. That's more of the 70s films I'm looking towards to. And I'm more of an 80s, 90s guy. So maybe that's another difference of opinion where it's kind of story trying to be that era is not my timeline. I prefer more of 1930s with Three Stooges, or Frankenstein, or the 40s, Invisible Man, even the 50s with Them, the Killer Ant, Giant Ant movie, or The Thing from Another World, which I enjoy. Or again, the 70s where you're talking about, again, The Warriors, Dirty Harry, Assault on Precinct 13, or the martial arts films like Enter the Dragon. I mean, that's more my palate. Maybe this movie's just not my palate. It's not my palate, and if it's your palate, teach their own. But there's a lot of scenes that just goes on, like there's this cop that's investigating these deaths, and him and the girl maybe falling in love with each other. They go to a Renaissance fair, and part of me is like, this whole Renaissance fair stuff could be easily cut out. Just really, spoiler alert, I'll spoil the movie because 3, 2, 1 spoilers. So, by the time we first see the girl, one guy has died. She meets this guy who's got beard on. He's the guy that she gives the potion to, and he's like, I'm sick, I can't take it. I'm not used to feeling things so strongly. Because men can't feel emotions, you know, again, trying the whole shebang. Then he dies, then she buries him. Then to the second guy who is married to this other girl that our lead talks to. He dies, I think. I can't remember because I thought the film was boring. That's another thing. I thought this was a boring story. No, I'm not saying it needed fisticuffs and action and flamethrowers, although it would help. It would help, but, you know, if there's many films that I've seen that pontificate avenues of the human condition, whether it be even 2001 Space Odyssey, even Altered States did that. Various other films are not just wham bam, thank you ma'am, Michael Bay style. She talks about you use tampons. Again, the cop investigates her. A little bit of love bit going there. Then ultimately, he's like, this time I have to arrest you. And the other people are like, wait a minute, she's a witch. We gotta burn her. And then they're going to rape her. And then the cop, because he's a cop, punches them, gets her out of there. Then, even though he knows this girl may have ties to have killing these people, or just the cop doesn't know 100%. Why would he believe a witch? Instead, he lays down, he closes his eyes. So lo and behold, the girl, I guess realizing, because the guy earlier said, you'll never get enough love. Even when a man loves you enough to die, it won't be enough. And maybe she finally realizes that and stabs the cop. Then she stays there looking dazed as she imagines herself marrying the cop and they go off happily ever after in her daydream. I'm like, this is a stupid fucking cop. That's what I was thinking. This cop's a fucking moron. Oh, there's this witch that I think she's a witch and she might have some kind of details and some link to these are they murders? Are they not murders? The cop is not going to know 100% because he wasn't there. I'm going to lay in this bed and close my eyes. So lo and behold, she stabs me. Wow, you're a shitty cop. Sure ain't no Dirty Harry. I'm like, that's fine. He deserves to die for stupidity. And then she's dazing off in the La La Land, dreamland, and then the movie's over. And I'm like, wow, what a 2 hour wasted. Like I said, if you watch the trailer and you want to go back and if you want to marvel someone, what's the word I'm looking for? Doesn't start with reintroducing, because I was going to say reintroducing the style of that early 70s, late 60s filmmaking, and you want to marvel at someone doing that in, well, this was 2016. And maybe if you're more a fan of, people describe it with Hammer horror film, but there's nothing horror about this. So, some people say exploitation, some people say Russ Meyer. There's naked people in it. I mean, I guess that's the exploitation. like I said, the look of it is fine. The story, the feministic ideals, the whole potions that men can't handle their emotions so much that they literally die from it. It's not my cup of tea when it comes to storytelling. Especially in this day and age, that's kind of it's like I said, white noise. Just drowns my brain out. So if you like the film, that's cool. A lot of critics love it. Seems like a movie that critics praise. That's good. Doesn't mean it's for me. So, hey, like every movie I review, look it up yourself. Make your own mind up. I'm not the end all be all. It's just someone wanting my opinion. So thank you to Paul Wilson for the paid request. If Paul Wilson, if you like the film, that's cool. I apologize, but I'm not gonna lie. So I apologize though. If you like the film, that's cool. Just not for me. Not every film's gonna be for you. I know there are people who don't like these films. Teach their own. There are people who don't like Aliens. Teach their own. We have disagreements, and it's not the end of the world. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Thank you once again for the request, Paul Wilson. Take care. Bye-bye.